You know the problem is. And you're just turning a blind eye to it. And it's why, though? For what?
Coach Ra guy.
That's why I call him Ra.
Hey, he's low-key Chauncey Billups.
Oh, man.
He is the face of an operation. And you deserve blame for your involvement in this operation. But you're taking all of these arrows. And those who know he's not the guy running the show. And no disrespect to Raheem Morris as a man. This is not anything to you. But inside this Falcon system, on your best day, you're Pinocchio. Sometimes you get to do your job and do whatever you want. But at the end of the day, Geppetto, a.k.a. Rich McKay, has his hands on your back.
Lee, that is why Ra got hired in reality. Because we scratched our head at it. We were like, we tried to make ourselves feel better about it. And we were like, you know what? He was kind of overdue to get a job, right? He was. It just wasn't our job that he was supposed to get. That was the issue.
But here's the problem now. You talk about being for black people having fair opportunities. Now, don't say the guy who's qualified, he was qualified and due for a job is not good enough for your job. You didn't know that this wasn't going to work until it didn't work.
Well, yes and no. I think that this is the real issue. If we really want to break this thing down, when I say that he was overdue for a job, it was that he put in for one, he was the youngest head coach of all time, right? At the time. He got 3 seasons in Tampa, had 1 good year. They didn't make the playoffs, unfortunately for him. So he got fired after the 3rd. But, other than that, a bunch of lackluster seasons. And he took over a Gruden roster that, at the time when Gruden got fired was a 7-9, 8-8 operation in reality. He waited his turn. He went to Washington. He went to Atlanta. He was here. He goes to L.A. He wins the Super Bowl as a D.C. Granted, with probably a top 3 defensive player of all time. But I digress. Does that. Defense still looks good, even after they won the Super Bowl. Gets interviewed by the Falcons again because he had a shot here, too, for what it's worth. Now, granted, it was a dumpster fire because he was taking over. It was interim basis, but he coached 10 games. I mean, he coached a lot of that season.
We covered this last week.
I know, but it's also just it's baffling to me because it's just like we know exactly why he was hired. He was hired because he's a do boy for a Rich McKay. They're familiar with him. They know he's going to do whatever it takes